In the final decades of the Cold War, American aviation stood ready for nearly any challenge. Pilots had fully transitioned to a trio of new fighter jets, each a reflection of the United States' doctrinal and technological advancements. The F-14 Tomcat and F-15 Eagle ensured air superiority over sea and land, while the lightweight F-16 Fighting Falcon proved to be the ultimate multirole workhorse. Yet, one member of that trio raised concerns among defense officials. It wasn't the F-15, a pure air superiority platform, already crowned king of the skies. Nor was it the F-16, relatively affordable, highly effective, and capable of fulfilling a wide range of missions. The issue was the Tomcat. Despite its cutting-edge features, such as variable sweep wings, the aircraft was expensive, complex, and narrowly optimized for aerial combat. To make matters worse, the F-14 program became embroiled in a high-profile scandal involving deliveries to Iran at the turn of the decade. Rather than prompting a course correction, however, the controversy only hardened the Navy's commitment to the program. Still, it was clear a more flexible and affordable solution would eventually be needed. And not long after work on the F-14 had wrapped up, the Navy was already looking for its successor. They found a promising candidate at Northrop. Not long before, their prototype YF-17 had lost out to General Dynamics F-16 in the competition for a new lightweight multirole fighter. But the YF-17 had shown strong performance in testing, and, critically, featured twin engines, which the Navy favored for carrier operations. That said, the prototype wasn't perfect. The engines were underpowered, the airframe needed refinement, and Northrop lacked experience designing carrier-based aircraft. Fortunately, each of these problems had a solution. The breakthrough came when McDonnell Douglas, a seasoned naval aviation contractor, joined the effort. Their engineers reinforced the airframe, upgraded the engines, and outfitted the jet with modern avionics. Progress was swift. By the late 1970s, the Navy had a fully developed multi-role combat aircraft in sight, the future Hornet fighter. The Hornet was the result of over 15 years of planning and development, from early Cold War design concepts to the earlier F-5. Like its predecessor, the Hornet featured a trapezoidal wing, and later prototypes incorporated leading-edge extensions to improve maneuverability. The design reflected the latest trends of the era, with a focus on minimizing radar cross-section of the aircraft for better stealth. The Hornet also came equipped with a digital radar and reliable, fuel-efficient F-404 engines, a stark contrast to the Tomcat's costly, fuel-hungry power plants. The Navy officially adopted the aircraft in the mid-1980s, designating it the F-A-18, Fighter Attack. The F-14 remained in service for a while longer, but its days were already numbered. Upgrading the Tomcat proved costly, largely due to the need to replace its analog systems with digital ones. There were also security concerns. The risk of leaking sensitive technology to potential adversaries led officials to ban exports of the aircraft. The Hornet's own path wasn't without turbulence, though. At one point, Northrop had to cede the project to McDonnell Douglas after a legal dispute. Nevertheless, both fighters served in parallel for several years, until the end of the Cold War. With the Soviet threat fading, the F-14 lost its primary justification as a long-range naval interceptor. Eventually, McDonnell Douglas adapted the F-A-18 to carry the AIM-120 AMRAAM medium-range missile. With that, the Tomcat was definitely no longer needed. Even so, it remained in service for a few more years and even provided close air support during the Iraq War. It was finally officially retired by the Navy in 2006, leaving the F-A-18 as the fleet's backbone. The Hornet airframe went on to support several key variants: an electronic warfare version, a reconnaissance platform, and multiple export models. Until the widespread adoption of next-generation aircraft, the F-A-18 remained the cornerstone of U.S. naval aviation. It played a central role in numerous conflicts throughout the 2000s and 2010s. Even today, the Hornet remains in active service, and the U.S. has no immediate plans to part with it. A vehicle built on decades and decades of Northrop's engineering experience continues to hold its own well into the 21st century.